The kid doth think himself to be a squid, but the squid knows himself to be a kid. William Shakespeare. In Splatoon 3, you are both a squid and a kid. As the third installment of the Splatoon franchise, Splatoon 3 raises the bar yet again and delivers a fresh experience that both old and new fans will love. Splatoon 3 has two major focuses, competitive and cooperative online multiplayer, and a story-driven single-player campaign. Today I'll be focusing on the multiplayer aspect, and next week I'll cover the single-player campaign. Let's dive in. If you aren't familiar with the Splatoon series, it's Nintendo's take on the popular shooter genre. The player takes the role of a half-squid, half-kid creature called an inkling, who can run around and cover the ground or enemies in ink, or submerge in the ink and swim through it. This is nothing new, however, as the first game in the series released back in 2015. The most notable new features include new movement options, maps, and weapons. The competitive multiplayer feels the best it has ever been, with a larger focus on movement and area control. The new maps feel great to play on as well. Outside of matches, there's also a greater emphasis on the player's creative expression with customizable lockers and splash tags. It is disappointing, however, that there are no new multiplayer game modes. The cooperative mode, called Salmon Run, that was introduced back in Splatoon 2, has got notable changes as well, with new bosses, maps, and the rare King Salmonid boss that appears once every couple rounds that provides a great challenge with great rewards to back it up. My biggest gripe with Splatoon 3 is by far its terrible online service. Although Nintendo claims to have upgraded their servers, I have experienced a much higher frequency of connection errors and latency in this game than I ever have in Splatoon 1 or 2. And let me remind you, Nintendo requires that you pay them money in order to use their online services. It doesn't ruin the online experience by any means, but it certainly is frustrating when you get splattered by an enemy who isn't even shooting at you after you've already splatted him. Splatoon 3 is the latest and greatest Splatoon game to date. The new additions are great and make it the most fun Splatoon has ever been. The new multiplayer features make the game feel fresh, and the customization options round out the experience. However, with the lack of new game modes and the lackluster online service, I rate the overall multiplayer experience a solid 8 out of 10. Tune in next Friday to hear my thoughts on the single-player campaign. Stay fresh.